So today, we're diving into the teachings of a spiritual master whose path was, well, shockingly direct. He didn't build complicated philosophies or hand out a long list of rituals. Nope. Instead, he pointed to something we overlook every single second of the day, our own sense of I. It's a journey that doesn't start with some grand quest, but with one single powerful question.
That's it. This one question, who am I, is the absolute heart of Ramana Maharshi's entire teaching. It's the method and it's the goal. He argued that the answer isn't something you're going to find in a book or from a guru. The only way to find it is to trace this fundamental feeling of I all the way back to its source.
I mean, this man lived a life of just radical simplicity. For years, he hardly spoke at all. He believed his most powerful teaching wasn't in words, but in a silent presence that could actually quiet the minds of the people who came to see him. And when he did speak, it was always to push people away from abstract theories and guide them straight to the direct experience of their own being.
Okay, so if the truth of who we are is so close, if it's right here, why don't we see it? Well, Ramana said it's because we're all making one huge fundamental mistake, a mistake that's at the root of pretty much all our suffering.
And there it is. That's the big mix-up. We just automatically, without a second thought, assume that I am this body, that I am the nonstop chatter in my head. We think we are our thoughts, our emotions, our physical body. Ramana says that this simple, mistaken identity is the only chain holding us down.
And to prove his point, he gives us this really fascinating clue. Just think about deep, dreamless sleep. I mean, everybody loves it, right? In that state, your body doesn't exist, the world is gone, all your problems, your anxieties, poof, gone. And yet, what do you experience? Pure happiness. No cause, just peace. For Ramana, this was the ultimate proof that happiness is our default setting, it's our true nature, and it has absolutely nothing to do with what's happening on the outside.
This analogy is just perfect. Think about it. Our life, the waking state, the dream state, the deep sleep state, it's all like a movie being projected onto a screen. You can have images of a raging fire or a massive flood, but does the screen get burned? Does it get wet? Never! Ramana's whole point is that you are the screen. You are the awareness that is always there, completely untouched by the drama that's playing out on you.
So the big question is, how do we stop getting lost in the movie and realize we're the screen? Well, Ramana didn't just point out the problem. He gave us a very direct, very practical tool to fix it. He called it the path of inquiry. He called this method self-inquiry, or vichara. Now this is really important. This isn't about just repeating who am I over and over again like a parrot, and it's definitely not about trying to come up with some clever intellectual answer. It's about grabbing hold of that core feeling of I, that simple sense that you exist, and turning all of your attention inward to find out where that feeling is coming from. It's all about focused awareness.
So here's how you actually do it. Any thought comes up, let's say it's, oh man, I'm feeling anxious. The moment you notice it, you ask, to whom has this anxiety come? And the answer, of course, is always, to me. That's the critical moment. You then relentlessly chase that me with the ultimate question, who am I? The mind, which always wants to flow outward, is forced to turn around and look at itself. And when it does that, the original thought just fizzles out, it loses its energy.
And this really gets to the profound simplicity of it all. Ramana taught that even just holding on to that feeling of I, that continuous awareness of your own being is enough. That alone will lead you to the self. He even said that I is the first and greatest name of God because it's the very first thought that ever arises, and it's the source of every other thought that follows.
Okay, so what happens when this practice starts to work? What's the end goal? This is so key. The self is not something new that you're going to get. It's not a prize you win. It's simply the recognition of what has been there, right here, all along. We've just been looking the other way.
To explain this, Ramana used this wonderful little parable. So imagine you've got 10 kind of clueless guys. They all cross a big river together, and when they get to the other side, they want to make sure everyone made it safely.
So one of the men steps up and starts counting his buddies. 1, 2, 3, 9. He panics. Oh no, we lost someone. So another guy tries, and he also counts 9. Total chaos ensues. They're all crying, convinced one of their friends drowned. Just then, a traveler walks by and asks what's wrong. He immediately sees the hilarious mistake they're making. He tells them to line up, and he walks down the line, giving each one a little tap on the head as he counts out loud. 1, 2, 3, all the way to the last man, and he shouts, 10! And just like that, they're overjoyed. Their sorrow vanishes in an instant.
And here's Ramana's brilliant punchline. Was the 10th man ever actually lost? No way. He was there the whole time. He was just being forgotten by the person doing the counting. And Ramana says that our search for the self is exactly like this. We are the thing we're looking for. The self was never lost, so it can't be found. All we have to do is stop overlooking it. Our ignorance is imaginary.
So this self, which in Sanskrit is called Swarupa, is simply our true state of being. It's what's left when that little individual I thought, the ego, doesn't pop up. It's not a thing you can know with your mind. It's a state of pure being, pure consciousness, pure bliss. Ramana also called it Mona, which means silence. But not just the absence of noise. It's the deep, profound stillness that exists underneath the entire storm of thought.
Now, a person who lives in this state is called a jnani, or a sage. They don't just sit in a cave, they act in the world, but the big difference is they do it without any sense that I am doing this. Their actions just flow. Ramana used this great analogy. You know how when you switch off a ceiling fan, the blades keep spinning for a little while because of momentum? It's like that. The sage's body continues its activities because of past momentum or karma, but the ego, the doer, has been switched off.
Realizing the self isn't just some personal, internal shift. It fundamentally transforms your entire view of reality. We're talking about a complete change in how you see the world, suffering, free will, even God. Let's just look at this contrast. To the regular mind, the world is a solid place filled with separate objects. But for the realized self, the entire world is just an appearance happening within consciousness. Suffering goes from being this huge personal problem you have to solve to being seen as an illusion created by the mind. The struggle of free will, which causes so much stress, it just disappears because actions are seen to flow from a higher power. And God is no longer some separate being you pray to out there. God is realized as the formless self that is right here. And, in the end, Ramana said the specific path you take doesn't really matter as much as the goal. Whether you use this direct investigation of who am I, or the path of devotion and total surrender, the Bhakti Marga, the destination is exactly the same. The complete and utter dissolving of that false, separate sense of I.
Which brings us right back to where we started. Ramana's teaching really leaves us with this one final, mind-bending question. If happiness is already what we are, if it was never lost in the first place, then what in the world is this frantic search that we're all on? Maybe the only thing we ever need to find is the one who's doing the searching.